First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of the new, well, first of all, I wouldn't say I say incumbent um, members of the board, and I'm glad to see a lot of them have returned. I guess they don't know when they get punished again, but no. But congratulations. And then we do have two new board members. Christy McPherson, raise your hand. There you go. And who's the other one? Lou Coy. Well, actually, Lou is not really old because he's been on since he was there on the board since in 2008, right? Or around there? My gosh, has it been that long? Well, welcome back, I should say. So how about a big round of applause to all of our incumbents and our new members? I'm so happy that we really have the same great team that we've had for the past many years. So, and I congratulate all of you and thank you for coming back. Except there were only 5 of us who went to the installation at the Philippine Com, and it was interesting. It was a long drive, by the way. But what's important is that 5 of us have been sworn in. And some of you have not been sworn in, so you're not official until you get sworn in. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, Camellia, she's gonna do is all those who have not been sworn in, I'm gonna ask you to stand up, and you want to recite whatever you're gonna recite. Is that correct?
The board members have to cite it.
What's that?
The board members have to cite it, but I already collected their forms, so there's no need.
Don't you
Um,
make them raise their hand and swear that they're doing a good job, it's stuff like that?
yeah, we can do it again.
Yeah, why don't you do it for them? We did it, right? All right. For those who had not been installed officially and stood up and raised your right hand, those of you who were not at installation, will you all please stand? And Camellia, and on the WebEx, that'd be Brandon, just Brandon, huh? Is it Brandon? Yeah, Brandon. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Go yours.
Okay, board members, if you can raise your right hand. And Brandon, if you don't mind turning your camera on, please. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. So the oath of office, I solemnly swear that I will faithfully support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws.
You have to pause because, I mean, some of them are.
Okay. Cited. Okay. All right, you can just say if you swear. Do you swear? Do you swear that I will faithfully support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the state of Hawaii, the charter and laws of the city and county of Honolulu, and the provisions of the neighborhood plan, and will conscientiously and impartially discharge my duties to the best of your ability as a member of the neighborhood board to which you have been elected? I do it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a big round of applause for a newly elected and official representative. Boy, they had it easier than us. We had to go through the whole thing and repeat. Okay, all right. Okay. Let's start with the first order of business. Make sure I don't miss. Yeah, let's start with the Honolulu Fire Department.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Judd. I'm a firefighter over at Station 4, Kuakini Fire Station on Engine 4, just down the road. So I'm here to read the statistics for the month of June. We're still on duty, so if we do have to, we get an alarm and have to leave abruptly, that's why. That's what we got a call. But the statistics provided below represent a confirmed number of incidents in the neighborhood board's geographical area for the previous month. For more details on any of these incidents related to mapping information, please visit the fire response search tool on our HFD website, which is fire.honolulu.gov under the news and info tab. You can find more information there. Should you have any questions, please email hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. Okay, so for the incident statistics for June 2025, for fires, we've only had 5 activated alarms, so no actual fires for the month of June. As far as emergencies, we've had 104 medical emergencies in our area. 1 motor vehicle crash or collision, and 1 hazardous materials incident. Fire safety tips and announcements. So for the summer months, we want to point out fire safety tips for wildland fire awareness and basically prevention and preparedness. Wildland fires significantly threaten our landscapes, wildlife, and communities. And with the dry conditions and daily activities increasing the risk, it's crucial to take proactive steps to prevent and mitigate wildland fires. So things that you guys can do to help is lighten the load. So reduce the risk of ignition by maintaining your yard and cleaning your gutters and removing fuels. Clear, cool, and contain. So clearing vegetation 10 feet around campfires and barbecues, keeping a shovel and water nearby and ensuring fires are completely extinguished before leaving. Watch the spark. So ensure any of your machinery like chainsaws or weed trimmers and recreational vehicles that all have operating spark arresters are maintained regularly. And then for more information, visit these online sources, which is Honolulu Fire Department, the same one, fire.honolulu.gov, Department of Emergency Management, honolulu.gov/DEM, and then the Hawaii Wildland Management Organization, which is hwmo.org/lookout. So that's all the information from this month. There's any questions?
Yeah, thank you very much. I got one question. You read and you watch TV and all the wildfires throughout, United States. In our area, I'm talking about the top of ʻAlewa Heights and the surrounding area, are we prone or are we susceptible to any wildfires, do you think? And if so, what can we do about it?
Any areas has potential for wildland fires or what we call brush fires. The prevalent brush fires are mainly on the west side because it's drier. They've been watching the news. They just had fires in Maile and Nanakuli. Actually, we went to that all the way from Kuakini. We ended up going to the Nanakuli fire last week. And last month, we had a fire up Punch Bowl, on the slopes of Punch Bowl. We've had them up on the hillside above Camp 4 housing, between Camp 4 housing and Fort Shafter. Never heard, well, I don't want to say anything on jinx, but nothing up ʻālewa so far. But anywhere it has potential for wildland fires. The drier it is, of course, the more potential. The greener it is, not as much potential.
Okay, well, that's good to hear for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Any other questions for the fire department?
That fire at Waianae, can you tell me, because the paper didn't describe where the fire was. Can you tell us where the fire was? Was it in
Which fire?
the one at Waianae? Nanakuli?
Okay, so there was 2 fires. The day that we were out there was one in Maile
Okay,
and one in Nanakuli.
all right.
But when you say Waianae, that's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
know.
referring to a big area. So
Okay.
more specific, like Miley, Nanakuli.
Well, let's take Miley.
So Miley, we weren't at that fire. We were covering Nanakuli's area, Nanakuli Fire Station. And then what happened was after the Miley fire, there was a fire that opened up in Nanakuli on what is that road? The
Mhm.
the military road that
Okay.
leads up. Yeah, Lualole
Lualole.
Naval. So there was one that opened up there. There's farms along that road. And we don't know how it started, where it originated, but it started, yes, from roadside and it spread up the mountain and to the north and to the south of that. And then been to them before my career. And what happens is sometimes they'll run up the mountain, over into the next valley. So where in Lualole, it wasn't threatening any residential homes or anything, but over on the other side of the mountain, downslope, there are all the residents there. So that's the major concern of ours is if it threatens any life or property, the residential homes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Yeah, go ahead, Loy.
Aloha, Captain. With the state's new appointment of the state fire marshal, on the day-to-day operation level, has there any been changes with your station's operation or foreseeably the impact?
On our level, we haven't seen anything yet. I haven't heard anything come down the pipe. That's relatively new, right? That's happened. I don't. From what I understand, it's going to be more in the administrative level that's going to be affected. There may be some trickle down to, our level and the operations level, but as of right now, I'm not sure. From what I understand, this was way before my time, but they had a fire marshal about 50 years ago, and I don't know what happened with that position, but this is just what I'm getting from the media. That now they brought back the fire marshal. And I think it was more to handle more administrative type of stuff. And like I said, I'm sure, well, I'm thinking that maybe some of it will trickle down to the operations level, but what exactly, I'm not sure.
Any other questions?
I just wanted to say thank you guys for you guys' service, really. I have family members who are firefighters, so we pray for you guys.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Any other questions? Any comments from the board? Not? Thank you very much, HD.
All right, thank you. Good
Thank
evening.
you. Good evening. Keep up the good work. Honolulu Police Department. Are you
Hello,
on the web?
good evening. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Sergeant King, and I'm with the Kalihi Police Station. I actually work night watch in this area that you guys are having your neighborhood board meeting. I just have some stats for you guys for the month of June 2025. For aggravated assaults, we had 1 reported as compared to 2 in May. For auto thefts, we have 7 reported versus 9 in May. For burglaries, we have 3, which is down from 5 in May. Robberies, we remain at 0. For sex assaults and rapes, we had 1 report versus 2 in May. For simple assaults, we had 4 reports versus 5 in May. For overall thefts, which include pickpocket, purse snatching, shoplifting, theft of vehicle accessories, bicycles, theft from buildings, coin machines, and others, we had 12 reports in June versus 16 in May. For unauthorized entry into a motor vehicle, aka car break-ins, we had 3 reports, which stayed par with May, which also had 3. Total calls for service was 1,206 calls versus 1,251 calls. I also just wanted to follow up about the chronic complaint about Natsunoya Tea House and the illegal parking. Our officers have been making checks and have been also documenting what their findings are. As of right now, every time our officers go, mainly at night, it has been free and clear. However, our officers can't stay there all day. So if there is a parking violation, we do recommend that our constituents call 911 non-emergency, and an officer will try to get there as soon as possible to address the complaint.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, very good. Any questions from the board for the Honolulu Police Department? And thank you for monitoring the parking at around Natsunoya Tea House, because that's been a big concern of the residents there.
Of course.
Appreciate it. None? Okay, thank you very much. Oh, yes, Loy.
Aloha, Sergeant. I have a resident concern.
Yes, sir.
As of this year, I noticed there's cars that are parked on the shoulder, unimproved shoulder, actually it's improved shoulder of Nalakila Ave. This is on the Diamond Head side next to Kamaka Lane. And I understand the parking situation in our neighborhood is tight. So I can see people popping in and out, just kind of stopping, just like delivery cars. But then I noticed as of this year, there seems to be one or two cars that's always parked there, and the car sticks out onto the road. And Nalakila Ave, historically, it's one of those old roads that are just very narrow. In fact, I remember we had to always fight to make sure that the center line is always painted brightly so that cars going up and down can, stay on their side. So with the cars parked on that wall and blocking the sidewalks, it seems to impede a lot of pedestrians. So would appreciate it if can just help us keep that area clear. And I'm the type that I trust the officer's judgment, so I'm not asking for getting them ticketed or anything, but just help keeping that area clear so cars and the pedestrians can pass.
Okay. For the unimproved, you're saying an unimproved sidewalk area that they're kind of overlapping into?
Actually, I would say it's improved because in the past we actually asked that area, so they paved it with asphalt.
Okay. And that's the area on Lanakila Avenue by Kamaka Lane.
Little bit on the north side, the upside of Kamaka Lane.
Okay. By just between Kamaka Lane and Lucky Road area, would you say?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. No problem. I'll make sure that my guys check it out and whatnot. And then also, as I always recommend, if there is a vehicle that is in violation, by all means, please have your constituents call 911 non-emergency. Just so that the officers know, like I said, we only have 4 guys that patrol from Likelike above the freeway all the way to Pali Highway. So as much as we would love to address every single complaint, it's kind of one of those things that if we're not made aware of it immediately, it will take us some time to get to it during routine patrol. So it would definitely benefit us and help to expedite the process if the constituents would call us via 911 non-emergency if it is a non-emergency. At least that way it also gets recorded by a 911 dispatch. So in the event that we need to pull statistics and whatnot, at least it'll show that calls were being made and that we responded and our dispositions for it. As officers, we will always try and make sure that we at least help the constituents out by not towing or not ticketing. We'll run the car, we'll make checks. If they're nearby, we'll see what we can do, chirp our siren or whatever. Hopefully they'll come out. However, if no one comes out after our warnings, our audio warnings or whatnot, then we will cite. If it is dangerous, we will tow. So just let your constituents please know that, or I hope that they understand that.
No, thank you, Sergeant. Mahalo.
Okay, anybody else? Board, any questions from the audience? Yes, Leanna.
Hi, every year you're supposed to have a gathering of the civilian patrol people, those neighborhood watches, neighborhood patrols. And I haven't heard news this year of your annual event. Are you having one this year? Because I got invited to the Chinatown one, that's District 1, but usually District 5 has something.
Okay. I will, unfortunately, I don't know. I'm on the patrol side. Usually all of the neighborhood watch aspect is controlled by our community policing team. If you have a contact number or an email that I can get back to you on that, I will make sure that I get in touch with someone over there to answer
Well,
that question.
I can call Brian Owato.
Yes, you can call
I
Brian
just thought-
Owato.
Yeah, those events are nice because we have a cross feed of the kind of cases that we run into and the neighborhood, the different patrols will learn from others, you know. it's a
I
cross feed
100%
and-
agree. 100% agree. Yes, if you could actually call Sergeant Brian Owato, he could give you a better answer than I could. I'm unfortunately on the patrol side and he's more on the community policing side, which controls all of the neighborhood watches and whatnot, and they collaborate with all the other districts too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Anybody else from the audience? Anybody else from the board? How about on WebEx? Anybody? Okay, if not, Sergeant, thank you very much. Keep up the good work and thank you for your support. Next, we have, yes, the Board of Water Supply.
Have to sit close. I have to walk over slowly.
Have we
No.
gone up to 50% yet?
No, that won't, he's talking about the water rates.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a certain, I want to say 10% a year, maybe. So we're not at 50% yet, I don't believe. It's still 2028. So, okay. Oh, shucks, my window closed up on me, sorry. Okay, so I'm Iris Oda from the Board of Water Supply. Usually I give a main break report for the previous month. So we didn't have anything in June. Okay, so for my July general announcement, so July is Smart Irrigation Month. So it's the beginning of peak demand for outdoor water use as this summer heat kicks in and sprinklers go into overdrive. So, you know, to be water smart, check for leaky or misdirected sprinkler heads, water early in the morning to reduce evaporation, attach a shutoff nozzle to your garden hose to avoid waste, install a weather-based irrigation controller, and that's eligible for a BWS rebate if you get the right thing, and capture rainwater in a rain barrel. So that's also eligible for a water rebate, BWS water rebate. So smarter irrigation helps keep your landscape green and may lower your water bill. So go to our boardofwatersupply.com/irrigation or do a little search around the website and you can see some more tips like this about irrigation and any type of water saving. Okay, so if any questions?
Oh, again, I want to thank you for those, I guess, breath mints that detect leakage.
Breath mints for your toilet. Yes, there we go. Should tell them put a little
I'm
mint
gonna ask the board. Anybody need some more of those breath mints? No?
I brought in, I think, last month, but you weren't here, I think.
Yeah, I know, but
So
no,
if you
but
need more
no,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
good. I just want to make sure my colleagues are okay.
for them and for the audience,
How
those,
about the audience? Anybody?
yeah, they're toilet dye tablets. You put it in your tank, you let it sit for 5 minutes, and if the blue from this tablet, either blue or green, comes into your toilet bowl, that means you might have a leak between your toilet tank and your toilet bowl, which might be your flapper. So we give that away free if I can
Yeah.
give you next month. I didn't bring
Yeah,
it.
anybody? I mean, she could bring it next time if you
Yeah.
come.
Okay, well,
Oh, okay, I guess,
bring some in.
I guess they're all good.
Yeah, I need the bag,
What?
so I had to take it
Oh,
out.
yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Iris, hi.
Hi, Aaron.
I have a question.
Yes.
I heard, I guess it was last week,
Uh-huh.
I heard on, I guess it was public radio here, that Kathleen,
Kathleen Pahinui, our,
your
our
person,
communications
was mentioning, in terms of the power shutoffs for, to prevent problems during the wildfire danger,
okay.
the water supply could be affected because the pumping needs more power.
Correct.
So if the power's cut off, then you have like 24 hours, you know, of pumping available, but then after that, it's a problem. And she said there's, the Board of Water Supply has free containers for, water storage for, in case of emergency. So I was just curious about what it looked like. So, have you seen it?
I have not seen, if it's the one I remember from a while ago. So she's saying that there's these water storage bags. It's a big plastic bag with a nozzle. It's, I don't know if you ever buy some juice sometimes when you're like kind of the big liter size. So there's a little nozzle and you can pour it out. So that's the water storage bag, so it collapses flat. So if that's the same one they're giving away, that's what it is. I haven't seen what you're talking about, the announcement, but my understanding is, I'm doing this from memory, if you are interested in it, you can call the Board of Water Supply or email contact us at hbws.org to ask them for a bag or two. And it's limited right now, 2 per person I'm not sure if it's resident, but 2 per person. They'll mail it to you. Or I'll see if I have information and interest tonight, I can see if I can bring it next month. So if you guys are, let me know if you're interested. I'll see if I can bring it, but I was told they'll mail it. But,
Yeah, if you don't mind, I
Fine.
don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. but They
So-
can show us. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Curious to see what it.
See, it looks like, and if you may want some, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody, okay. I'll bring for the board members and hopefully you guys come here next month. I'll bring a few extra for you guys. But I'm not sure if they wanted to keep track of who they're giving to. I'm not sure why or why they want to mail it to you. Outreach, maybe, yeah, but I'll find out
Great.
and bring it next month.
Good.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the board? Yes. Donald?
All right, so you know that rebate for the rainwater catchment?
Mhm.
Can you tell me where I can buy the barrel? Because I need a receipt. All of these big stores, hardware store, they don't sell the 55-gallon poly barrels.
Okay.
Because you folks keep on telling, we do the catchment, you buy the barrel, we'll give you the rebate.
Okay.
I have never found a place where I can
Okay.
buy a barrel and I get a receipt so I can get the rebate.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely, if I don't get back to you in time, go to our boardofwatersupply.com/rebates or something, look for that type of stuff, water conservation. But yeah, I thought it was the big box stores, at least City Mill and or Home Depot, those. But you said you've gone there and they're not available?
They don't sell 55-gallon poly barrel.
Okay. Well, I'll look it up while I'm sitting here too, and if I can, I'll give you the paper. I'll give it to you before I leave the meeting tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Is anybody concerned about the 55-gallon containers? Because if not, if you are, maybe you can email me the information and I can disseminate it to the board.
Of course, yes.
I'll give you my card after
Okay,
or before you leave.
okay. If it's the one online, your address online, I can pull that up too. I think I've emailed you,
Probably.
or I can get to the
Yeah, I
assistant.
get it
Yeah.
from her. Yeah. And then send it to me, then I can disseminate it to the
Do
board.
that, sure.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Anytime to get.
Any other
meetings,
questions from the board?
conservation.
How about the audience? Okay, Eris, thank you very much.
Terrific.
All right, terrific. Okay, moving right along, filling in vacancies. We do have a vacancy in Sub-District 4. Anybody interested? Don't all rush up at the same time. I guess not. Okay. A couple of administrative items. First, we have election of officers. We have to elect a chair, a vice chair, a secretary, and a treasurer. So at this time, I'll open the nominations for chair.
Sir, I don't think you can conduct this election because you'll be running for the chair.
Not,
I'm
not,
sorry,
not,
but-
not, you've been premature. I can open it up, then I'll turn over if I am nominated, then I will turn over the gavel to you.
All right.
So nomination is open for chair.
Marvin? Any other nomination?
Okay.
If there's
I'll
none,
turn the gavel to you.
no. If none, as far as I'm concerned, you won the nomination for chair of Neighborhood Ward 14.
Sorry. Member Nita, I have to do a roll call
Okay,
for official.
all right. That's for the sunshine law. Yes, all right.
Okay, is there any more nominations for chair? Nope, okay. Okay, so you can say, oh, sorry, when I call your name, you can say Fong, if you would like to elect him for chair.
That's my name over here, Chris. Right, please.
Okay. Cantrell, Christian, okay. Fong. Okay. And then for Fong, would you like to
Oh,
yourself?
myself.
Okay. Higa, Kaapu, Kuo, McPherson, Magawai, Mitsuda. You can turn your camera on and respond. Mitsuda. Okay, skip. Na'uao Ota is not here. Nita. Yamamoto. 10 votes for Fong, no abstentions, no vote. Okay, congratulations, Fong.
Thank you, everybody. Really, I'm very humbled again to serve, and I'm proud to serve as your chair again. As I said before, I'm very fortunate if I'm the chair because we have a great neighborhood board, and I've been told this by the upper echelon, so I'm glad that you're on board. Now, let's open up the nominations for vice chair. Nominations? Any nominations? Nominations for vice chair? All right.
I nominate Darren.
Okay, Darren? Okay, any other nominations?
I nominate Donald.
Donald is nominated. Are there any other nominations? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we close the nominations. Okay, is there a second? Moved by Carol, seconded by Zoe. I'm gonna just ask, all in favor, say aye. Motion's carried. The nominations are closed. Okay, we have two candidates. So I'm gonna ask our neighborhood assistant to do a roll call.
Okay.
And you will say which candidate you are in favor of, okay?
Okay.
And we need, I believe, 7
Yes.
to elect, right?
7.
Okay.
Okay. When I call your name, you can say Cantrell or Nita. Cantrell? Okay. Christian? Okay. Fong?
I'm gonna abstain.
Higa? Kaapu? Kuo? McPherson? Magawai? Mitsuda? Mitsuda? Okay, skip. Na'uao Ota is not here. Nita?
Darren,
Yamamoto? Okay, 1 second. Two. Okay, so 7 votes for Cantrell, 2 votes for Nita, 1 abstention. Congratulations, Darren.
Congratulations, Darren. Okay, now the floor is, I'll open it up for secretary. Nominations for secretary? Any nomination for secretary?
Did we nominate nominate someone who's not here?
Say again?
Not present.
No,
Can't-
sorry. They have to be present. It's in the neighborhood plan.
Yeah, the question was, can you nominate somebody who's absent? The answer is no, he has to be present. Any nominations? We leave it vacant? Okay, then why don't we go on to treasurer? Any nominations for treasurer? I'm sorry, was there a nomination for secretary? Okay. Are there nominations for treasurer?
Yes, I nominate Lloyd.
Okay, Loy has been nominated. Any other nominations? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion that the nominations be closed. Move by Carl. Is there a second? Seconded by Darrell. All those in favor of closing nominations, just say aye. Any opposed? Motion's carried. Since we only have one candidate, I'm going to entertain a motion that we elect Lloyd Kuo as our treasurer by acclamation, which means clapping. So all those in favor, oh, wait a minute, do we have to do a roll call? We still have to do a roll?
Did you? Sorry.
Let's do a roll call.
Okay. You can say Kuo if you'd like to nominate him for treasurer. Kentrill, Christian. Okay, Higa, Kapu, Kuo, McPherson, Magawai, Mitsuda online. Okay, skip. Naoa Ota is not here. Nita. Sorry, Nita. Oh, okay. Yamamoto and Fong.
Lloyd.
Okay. Three.
Okay,
Right, 10
now how
votes.
about a big round of applause for our new treasurer? All right. I expect you to make sure you check the books every meeting, okay? By the way, how much do we have?
I don't have the exact amount, but if the board ever needs anything, they can contact Lloyd to get a
Okay,
request for something.
very good. Okay, Lloyd, as the chair, I'm gonna give you first assignment. Go find out how much money we have. And the second assignment is what can we spend it on? Okay? That way you can report back in the next meeting. All right. Again, thank you, everybody. And position of secretary is still open, so we'll bring that up the next meeting. Can you make sure it's on the agenda? All right, moving right along. Resident concerns. Any resident concerns? Yes, first. Please come on up. I'm going to ask the residents first. So go ahead, come on up. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on. I jumped the gun here. I forgot the rest of it. I was just going to assume we were going to all, okay. The next on the initial convening of business is a meeting date. Okay, right now we are meeting, and I'm going to go this real quickly. The second Monday of every month at 6:30. Do we need a roll call on each one of these?
No, but you can just ask.
Okay, I'm
if-
going to go through each one of them and you just tell me, basically raise your hand if you're still in favor of it. If not, we'll change it. All in favor of staying on the second Monday of every month at 6:30 at my school, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Okay. It's not a motion, but that's carried. Second, determination of recess schedule. Now, I know all of you want to serve 12 months out of the year because you're so dedicated. However, we can take a recess. Now, I looked in the calendar, correct me if I'm wrong. The 13th of October is Columbus Day. Is that a state holiday? Or city holiday?
It's a federal, so
It is not.
not a state holiday.
So you're working.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I want to make sure you're here. Okay, so basically, we have no holidays on any of the second month, correct me if I'm wrong, second Mondays up to July. Just somebody double check. I just checked the calendar. Zoe, is that right? He's checking. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to suggest that we take December as a break.
Okay. Okay, but there are no holidays, right? During the whole year. Okay, I want to make sure it's this, because if it is, then we'll just take that as a break. Okay, one suggestion is the December, take a break. Any other suggestions on any other months? June. Okay. We have three. We got max 3. You don't have to take max 3. So I have December and June. Any other suggestions or any recommendations or brothers? Okay, if not, I'm gonna ask all those in favor of taking December and June as our recesses, raise your right hand. Okay, those opposed? Raise your same hand. Raise your hand. Majority wins. So we will take a recess in December and in June. Camille, can you remind me, it was last time I forgot we were supposed to take a recess. Just remind me, that's all. Okay, yeah. December I can remember. The June one I kind of forgot. Okay. Let's see. Next is the adoption of the oral testimony rules. Right now we have, as a standard rule for oral presentations, 5 minutes for presentations. That's if you give a, presentation under presentations. 3 minutes if you have a report, and 1 minute if you're going to testify. Any discussion on that, or
Chair, I move that we keep it the same.
is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second, Zoe. Any discussion? Okay, if not, all those in favor, raise your right hand. 5 minutes for presentation. What did I say? 3 minutes for reports and 1 minute for oral testimony. Raise your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, motion's carried. Oh, I'm sorry. Any opposition? No, then motion's carried. Thank you. All right. Next, are we good? Resident concerns. Now, we're not finished yet. What do we got?
We need to elect our representative to OMPA.
Oh,
Remember it?
very
they-
good. Yes, yeah,
representative,
yes.
And I now nominate Carl Yamamoto.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. I nearly forgot that. Yes, we do have to elect a representative to a very important position on OMPO. The first nominee would be Koro Yamamoto. Anybody else?
Well, as long as Darren can be alternate.
Okay, let's make this short.
It's just,
If there's no, the recommendation is have, as we had before, Cora be the primary. And if Darren accepts, be the secondary. Is okay? Anybody else? Okay, if if you are in favor of having Cora as our primary representative and Darren as our secondary representatives, please raise your right hand.
I think you need a roll call.
Oh, do we need roll call?
I think you need a roll
No,
call.
I'm gonna ask Camille. Do we need?
Because she represents the board. So you need a
Camellia,
roll call and a quorum.
Donald,
according to
Donald,
some,
Donald, I'm gonna take it from Camellia. Do we need roll call?
You don't.
Okay, we don't. Okay. Therefore, congratulations, Cora, and congratulations, Darren. Okay. Okay, have we missed anything? All right, let's move on. Resident concerns. Residents, yes, come up to the mic, identify yourself.
My name is Ryan Lim, and I have a concern that I'm addressing or directing to the office of the governor and also to my legislatures. I heard that the LGBTQ Commission was advocating for the governor to consider giving an executive order to make Hawaii a sanctuary state for people in other states who want to come to undergo like gender transitioning procedures and like surgeries. And I just wanted to voice my concerns about that and to just humbly ask if you guys would consider opposing that. The reason why I'm against it is because, first of all, I think it's immoral. It goes against like my Christian values, but it's also one reason I'm concerned is because oftentimes those surgeries are, permanent because you're like taking out like your parts of your body or like you're doing permanent changes to it. So I'm concerned about the health effects that it will have on people. And also like in general, we have a doctor shortage in Hawaii. So I don't see how it will improve that situation too.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board about the audience? I think we'll note that as on the agenda anyway. Thank you. Anybody other concerns? First of all, from the residents? No? Okay, board, any resident concerns? Yes, go ahead.
I have a couple. And one is just a question for something that we had in the past. The Skyline Drive, at the end of it, they had to go to the non-automatic trash pickup because the big trucks couldn't turn around at the end. I noticed that they're still on bags on the side of the street. So I'm wondering, I thought the city had gotten the trucks that were small enough to make the turn. So I'm wondering if we could have some kind of a follow-up on that, because it's been a while since we had the board.
So this is what now, what? Repeat.
So on Skyline Drive, at the very end, it's a dead end. About a year, maybe it's been 2. The trucks were having to turn around in a private driveway, and they said, no, we can't have the trucks turn around at the end in a private driveway because the trucks were too big. So they can't use the automatic bins. So they had to go to trash in bags on the side of the road. The city was going to buy smaller trucks that would be able to turn around, and then they could go back to the automatic bins. But we haven't heard anything, and I noticed the other day that their bag's still on the side of the road, so I'm just asking for an update.
Yeah, I'm listed as trash pickup at end of Skyline
Skyline
Drive. Is
Yep,
that okay?
Correct, yep.
Okay, what else?
And then the second one is the hole in the side of the road on Aulani and Aupuni. That's been also over a year. The storm drain collapsed, and it's just a hole with nothing that someone can easily fall into. And that was been brought up multiple times in the last year. So just checking on that again.
Ed, you got that? Yeah, he'll follow up on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anything else from any of the board members? Yes, Loy.
Sure, this is more of a procedural question. And a few months ago, I went to the neighborhood board website under our neighborhood board with your picture. And on the bottom, there's I guess a radio button to submit testimony. And I interpret that as a way for the community to submit testimony like related to items such as citizen concerns. So actually, I think I submitted 3 things. I was hoping by now it would show up in like the agenda, but I don't know. I don't see it. So just wondering if that link, who gets the message and if it's still working. Amelia?
So the testimony folder that you're talking about, it goes on our Google Drive for the public to see. As for your concerns, you would have to bring it up
At the
at the
meeting?
meeting because we have to submit it and give the departments 30 days to respond. So I'm not sure when you submitted those concerns.
Yeah, submitted back in May, but I guess just for clarity's sake, whether it kind of gets automatically roll into the agenda or versus what I'm hearing is that it actually gets referral and until the administration has an answer, then I guess you'll get brought up. So just maybe just stating for the record for, those might be reading the minutes and or watching, that make sure that we have the same interpretation. But I would suggest that possibly, a lot of us can't come to the meetings. So that's kind of a real convenient way to report in addition to I guess the 311 app. But seems like submitting through the neighborhood board, this way it brings to the board's attention and might have more weight. So I would suggest or advocate that if these issues, as soon as received, and maybe just share with the board, and then as the board chair, maybe can make a determination whether they should make, next month's board meeting minutes or agenda.
Let me chime in, Loy. I prefer that the individual who has a concern for our neighborhood board 14 come down personally and tell us the concerns so that we can ask for more clarification if we're in doubt about the concern. That way we'll know exactly what the concern is. And, if there are any questions, then we can refer to the appropriate department. Is that okay with everybody? We'll see it that way. That if you just if a resident sends me a concern, I don't have to interpret it, and I don't want to interpret it unless he's here. You can give me a heads up, that's fine, but on the resident concerns, we don't have to put anything on the agenda. We just listen and then put it on the agenda to follow, just like we did this evening. Is that okay? Good, but thank you. Any other concerns? Yes, Christy.
Yes, I have a couple, not concerns. Well, one is a concern and one is a suggestion for discussion. And one of them is the ʻālewa playground. There's still that orange netting up by the basketball court that still hasn't been fixed. I guess people can't utilize that area. So one of the residents had shared their concern about that. And the other one is a resident had suggested that there be some kind of a playground for keiki up in Napueo Park next to the basketball court. And I thought that was a nice suggestion because of the community and just because it's hard to ride your bike up ʻālewa. It's very, very steep. So she had just suggested that might be something to look into.
May I comment?
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, Cora.
I had brought up the question about the ʻālewa playground last year. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I had brought up the situation at ʻālewa playground because two of my neighbors had been wondering why, it's the basketball court looks okay, but there's no backboard. And so they can't use it. And they had kids who wanted to use it. And it came here and Edward looked into it. And apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, they were waiting to be able to fix the retaining wall in the back. And there's some historic preservation problem now or question situation that needs to be resolved. So it's kind of delaying the whole process, which is why it's sitting there with the orange tape. Right?
If it's okay with both of you, I'm going to put it on the agenda and I have it listed as ʻālewa Park. Is that what you call it?
Mhm.
Yeah, Leva Park and the basketball backboard and hoop. Is it called a hoop? I don't play basketball. Hoop? All right. Okay. I'll put it on the agenda under new business. And I'm sorry?
And the retaining wall, which is right next to it. That seems to be the holdup.
Ed, you got that? You got it. Yeah, okay. He'll take care of it. We'll hear about it next meeting. We'll put it on the agenda. Any other concerns by the residents with the board? Let me interject something that I wasn't here, but I I was able to see from the, it was interesting. You know, I've never, say never, I don't usually watch our board, neighborhood board on ʻŌlewa. I don't get me make it tired of seeing myself, but I did because I was gone the last meeting when I took a vacation. But it was interesting because actually there was a lot of fervor about first of all, Natsunoya Two House, but more so the Kamehameha School. Okay. But I don't see anybody from Kamehameha School or any of the residents. Let me tell you what had happened. And the Natsunoya Tea House item is going to come under new business, and we're going to have a report on that. So just wait a minute on that. But in regards to the Kamehameha School, before I left for my trip on the 30th, I met with the representatives of Kamehameha Schools. I told them I got to meet with you because there's a lot of concerns by the residents. So we met down at their offices at Kauai. And we had a good discussion, and we had the director of operations and a few others who were in the know and also, could do something. And what they promised to do was to meet, and I guess they did, meet with the residents. I says, we're only a sounding board. We can't enforce anything. We don't have clout in regards to, having a hammer. So we can only bring your concerns to the individuals or the entities that can do something. And to me, the people that you're talking about or the concerns you have really deal with the city and the state. So they said they were going to meet with the residents and our state representative and our city council member. And that was after I left for my vacation. And I said, if you got any concerns, you got any questions or you got any problems, call me and I'll put you back on the agenda. So I hate to use the word assume. You never assume anything, especially a lawyer. I'm going to assume that they have hopefully worked it out. And I may say Kamehameha School is very, I would say, receptive to working with the community. I'm serious. So I'm glad to hear that. So I don't know what happened. Okay, I'll let them talk. But anyway, so that's what happened. And I have not heard back one way or another. So I won't assume, but I will to a certain extent that, they try to work it out. Yes.
So
Wait,
I,
1 second.
got a hold
Wayland,
of-
Wayland,
I
Wayland,
got a hold-
Wayland, hold on. Yes. WebEx?
Oh, hi, Chair. It's Jenna. It's okay to
Oh,
talk
hi,
at this
Jenna.
point. Hi.
Oh,
So
okay,
the
go.
meeting is actually so I convened a meeting with the school and the residents who were at the first meeting. I had convened the other year to talk about some of the same issues, with the noise and some of the other things, the fire break and all those kind of things. So sorry, because of the scheduling of everybody, including myself, unfortunately, we're actually holding the meeting this Friday. Board member Christensen is actually, I think, attending. I think we sent you the times. So it's going to be a bunch of the residents who came to the past meeting, board member and anybody else at the meeting who'd like to join is also welcome to come. Please just contact my office. It's going to be here in the Capitol. We got like a nice conference, like a nice small conference room to kind of talk through some of the stuff that's going on with the school situation. But sorry, it hasn't happened yet, just because of scheduling. A bunch of people were traveling because of summer plans, but we are doing that this Friday, actually.
Okay, very good to hear that. Can you get back to me or even the residents who are online, get back to me if you need to bring it up to our neighborhood board again, Because I'd like to have them work it out first. And if it can, we can come back here and see if we can help them further. Yes, Wayland, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say that I had contacted Jenna's office shortly after last month's meeting, so that's the same info I got. July 18th, 12:30 PM at the State Capitol Room 423.
Okay, thank you very much. So anybody who wants to go ahead. One of the residents, and I'll tell you right now, one of the residents asked me to attend the meeting too, and I said, no, I'm not going to. We are not here to, be a referee. You folks work it out. And then if you need more help, come back to us and we'll see if we can direct you. But we're not going to take positions. That's not our job, unless I'm wrong, but that's my position. So, but at least we got them together and hopefully they can work it out as adults. Is that the word? Okay. Any questions? Audience? Okay. Jenna, thank you very much. Okay. Let's see, moving along, any other resident concerns? No? Okay, moving right along. Reports of members' attendance at other meetings. Anybody attend any? Anybody attend? Do you have? Oh, anybody attend any meetings that may be of interest to us? Yes, Cora.
I did, but it'll be covered later. I attended the liquor commission hearing.
Oh, no, we'll leave that on,
Yeah,
under
all right.
new business.
We're covering.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Interesting to see what happened. All right, Umpo.
It's me. Okay. So I wasn't here at the June meeting, so I wasn't able to report about the May meeting and subsequent walk audit that we conducted. So I will do that and then also briefly describe what happened at July's meeting. It's 2 reports. Okay, so on May 7th, we had our regularly monthly Citizens Advisory Committee of OMPO, which is the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is for transportation for the city and county of Honolulu. And there was a presentation then about the project Safe Routes to Schools, which is a state-funded project. And the director of that was describing walk audits that they do in conjunction with public schools and the community to just walk around the school to see what could be improved, what the problems are historically and currently. And so I asked the project director whether we could do one for Lanakila Elementary, because I remember Chance had brought up several issues in the past year or two. And it was scheduled, and Chance and I attended. I'd send out an invitation to anyone else who wanted to come from the board. It was on June 12th, and so it was Chance, myself, Carrie Higa, who's the principal of Lanakila. There was a person representing the Department of Education, Facilities and Safety. Yeah, I can't remember his name. So, and Yamato Sasaki was the staff member. She's the one-person office, for the Safe Routes to School. So we walked around and, we just talked about what had happened in the past and what the boundaries of the school are. So interestingly enough, the kids from Lanakila do not cross School Street because that's Calduela, that's that catchment area. So I was concerned about that intersection, as was Chance, but then we found out, well, the kids don't actually cross the street there that go to Lanakila, so that's not of concern. But, there are other intersections that could be dangerous. And of course, there was help from the city to make the crossing easier and safer on Alaneo. Kids go in the middle of the block, and that's been very helpful. And then we also looked at some of the turning problems, possibly. Nothing major, because the school has actually taken the initiative and staggered their pickup time. So the younger kids, the kindergarten and preschool, get let out a little bit earlier, so they get picked up a little earlier, so there's less congestion. And then the little kids don't have to, deal with the bigger kids and all of that. So, that was good. an interesting thing came up. So there was really no major problem that was identified. There is that one major intersection with the lights. There are no crossing guards. These days there are no JPOs anymore. So in our day, we had that program. But there was an interesting thing that the principal brought up, which is not related to this, but he said it's been a problem. There are maybe about 4 spaces near the entrance to Lanakila on Kuakini, where you go into Lanakila, where various times of the day, people are picking up turo cars, rental cars. They're not supposed to be parked there, but they're parked there. And so we had a discussion about what could possibly be done, but that's been a problem for the school because people coming to pick up the cars sometimes will get confused. They'll come to the office and say, well, where is this parking thing? And, the school has nothing to do with this. And, they get interrupted. And plus, it takes up space. It takes up valuable parking space on the street. So that's an issue that's kind of brewing.
Thank you. Any questions?
So the quick report for this month, which we had the July 2nd meeting, that was, we had some reports on some of the planning amendments that are coming through, which we approved be approved by the next level, the policy board. None of those affect us specifically, but there is an effort to clean up our membership. There are people who have not shown up at meetings who are supposed to be representing organizations and neighborhood boards who have not shown up, say, 6 times in the last year. So they were sent notices and they were given a chance to come to the meeting to say why they want to be back in. And we did actually cut 3 people from the board, and they can be reinstated. Their neighborhood boards can reinstate them or somebody else, but that got cleaned up. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Audience? WebEx? Hey, Cora, thank you for continuing on, doing a good job along with Darren. Keep our roads safe. Thank you. All right, next, presentations. Is anybody from the Mediation Center of, oh, hi. We got you finally.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here tonight.
Oh.
Appreciate it.
Do you have something on the?
Yeah, Camellia should have
Maybe
a
we can-
presentation up.
Can
Yep,
we dim the
perfect.
lights down here or possible? Oh, we turn the lights down? I'm sorry? Oh, wait, 1 second. So we can see what's on.
Yeah, that would be helpful for sure. Thank you.
I'm glad you're feeling better. I know you missed the last time.
Yeah, my apologies for last time.
Ooh, all right. I'm watching you guys. Don't fall asleep now, okay?
Well, again, my name is Roberta Hickey Gomez. I represent the Mediation Center of the Pacific. For those who aren't familiar with the Mediation Center, we help people and empower them to resolve solutions outside a court of law. I'm here to talk about the early eviction mediation program. Next slide, please. So the program has a history and background coming out of Act 57, which was part of the COVID eviction moratorium. Our initial target through that program was about 6,000 tenants who were in arrears on Oahu. We were able to mediate about 1,300 of those cases of 3,000, and we achieved an 85% agreement rate. We kept 90% of tenants in their homes. Next slide, please. But moving forward, Act 57 did expire in August of 2022. So the Mediation Center of the Pacific, with private funding, moved forward to see how we can continue the program. The initial program was part of a rental assistance paired with mediation, but we moved forward just with the mediation portion to be able to have tenants and landlords come together to really try and resolve those issues as they moved forward. Next slide, please. What's nice about this program is it's beneficial to both landlords and tenants. On the landlord side, we know that it can take on average between 1 to 4 months in eviction processing. So to be able to have a resolution and an understanding of where things are going with a modicum of haste is helpful for everyone involved. And then onto savings, landlords oftentimes spend anywhere between $500 and $10,000 per eviction. So that can be quite costly. So being able to participate in this program can be a significant savings. We also know that agreements foster relationships and mutual community bonds, and that can be helpful overall for the community. And if an agreement does break down, which can happen from time to time, landlords can bring that agreement to the courts and let them know they've done everything and they've tried their best to resolve the situation to be able to move forward. Next slide, please. We also know that it's a benefit to tenants. We know that it provides greater housing stability and predictability, and that can be whether or not they remain housed or whether they are able to come to a reasonable move-out date, particularly in communities that have high cost of living, as we see throughout Hawaii as well as Honolulu. It can be very helpful to have that reasonable timetable that makes sense for everybody. We know that agreements between landlords and tenants provide greater ease in housing relationships. They empower tenants to be able to come to the table, to be able to agree with resolutions that make sense for them. Fewer evictions on record is really helpful for tenants in terms of finding their next apartment or housing. Not having those evictions on record is crucial. Furthermore, it can be catastrophic for people who are on Section 8 because any eviction on record can remove them from that program. Overall, it's about providing greater community stability and houseless prevention. Next slide, please. So the EEM program through fiscal year 24-25 has taken up about 33% of the landlord-tenant mediation cases. The remainder are coming to us from district court, and that's a rise of about 20% over last fiscal year. And then we also see our agreement rates between fiscal year 23-24 and 24-25. We see about between an 89 to 93% agreement rate that fluctuates, but it stays around this area, which is helpful. What we know is that when landlords and tenants come to the table open and willing with solutions, they can find them, and we're able to help them get to that line. We also had about a 60% increase in cases over fiscal year 24-25 into the second quarter. Next slide, please. How the EEM program works. One, I'd like to mention that it's a free program. It's free for both landlords and tenants. So either one of them can come to us with issues. We oftentimes have landlords come to us when tenants are first in arrears, maybe 30 days behind, but tenants who have an expectation that they might receive an eviction notice, they're behind, they've just received notice from work, et cetera. So we have a variety of people in very different standings. It basically is an opportunity for landlords and tenants to come together to discuss the issues, to find a reasonable solution to move forward. If English isn't their primary language, we do provide interpreters. Meetings are held remotely through Zoom. This is for the convenience of everyone involved. It also creates the ability for people to feel most comfortable in their own home environment. And then before mediation, participants sign an electronic confidentiality agreement. Mediation scheduled for 1.5 hours at a time that agrees for both landlord and tenant. If an agreement is reached, it's signed electronically and distributed to the parties. Next slide, please. On the scheduling side, cases can be scheduled within a 48-hour period if both sides are available. And typically we have cases resolved within a 3 to 5 business day window. And then when you compare that to the courts can be anywhere between 4 months and 6 months to be able to find a resolution. So this is really helpful, again, for all parties involved. Next slide. Part of the early eviction mediation program is incorporating tools to empower both landlords and tenants to be able to come to resolution, one of which is the eviction cost calculator. So earlier I mentioned eviction costs can be anywhere between $500 and $10,000. Those are abstract figures and may not necessarily hit home. This eviction cost calculator allows you to input all of the specifics with regards to your rental, the size, the amount of units you have, et cetera, the typical legal cost for the area. And it calculates to give you a specific number with regards to what this eviction would cost you. Next slide. So this will give you the result output. Next slide. We also offer tools on the tenant side, a budget calculator. We've worked with Hawaiian Community Assets to provide this to the community. It's a budget calculator that allows tenants to be able to, one, understand what their financial positioning is, but also it allows tenants to be able to understand if they're going to enter into a payment plan, if they can reasonably uphold it based on what their expenses are. And this is also tailored to a local community. Next slide. Next slide again. We've also been working on tenant Kakua hubs. We have 2 Kakua hubs currently, Hawaiian Community Assets as well as Family Promise. Both of these offer spaces where people can go to get information on mediation, to fill out an online intake form with the assistance of staff, and to be able to have a space to mediate over Zoom if they need it. We're also in preliminary discussions with Waikiki Community Centers and working with other Kakua partnerships. Basically, the Kakua partnership model is areas where there are community services being achieved, where people typically go to, having those empowered with information and services that they can do more greater outreach to the community. Next slide, please. SBA 825, which I now believe is Act 728, just recently passed. This is allowing for a greater time period for eviction mediations to process. This will start up in the new year in 2026. It's a 2-year pilot program. This pilot program will allow for more mediations to happen between landlords and tenants. Next slide, please. If anyone is interested in any EEM requests, we have a QR code here, but you can also go to our website, mediatehawaii.org, click contact us, and schedule a mediation. You'll be able to fill out an online contact form. Next slide. That looks just like this. It'll ask for your contact information, the contact information for the other party. And I will reiterate, this is a free program that's helpful and beneficial to all parties. And I'm happy to take any questions.
What's that? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. First of all, thank you very much. Before I ask for questions.
Sure.
I am really pleased that you're making it mandatory now for a landlord tenant to make it mediation before there's litigation. Because that dovetails into what we do now as lawyers in regards to personal injuries lawsuits, not major ones, that we have to go through arbitration before we go to trial. So that's great. And let me say that the mediation center I used to work with them. Really, it's a good thing that if you can mediate that rather than litigate, it's much more economical. Not that we lawyers don't deserve our money, but I mean, for free, that's terrific.
Yeah.
And so the difference between mediation and arbitration is mediation, you come out to correct me if I'm wrong, not everybody's happy, but you come with an agreement. Arbitration, you're going to have either right, wrong, and how much. And then trial, well, you know what that's going. So again, congratulations, and I'm glad to hear that it's mandatory. Now, if I would open up to questions, yes, or comments, go ahead.
It's actually I'm asking for I'm asking for Jenna, but also for other people who might be interested. How can we get a copy of the PowerPoint?
Oh, yeah, I can provide the copy. Camelia should have one. She can distribute it to the neighborhood board.
It's on the board's Google Drive.
Oh, it is? Oh, fantastic. On the Google Drive. Okay, great.
Other. Hello. Any other questions? Yes, Loy.
Hello. Part of my ignorance about your organization and maybe just this field in general, I know Chair West is a lawyer by profession, so he's kind of familiar with this kind of stuff. But for a layman, I mean, may I ask, is your company, what's the business model? Are you a nonprofit or you're for profit? Do your directors get paid? And I'm sure there's a staff and the staff gets paid. How much of that business has come from the government versus people private voluntarily choose? And maybe what's you guys market size? Are you guys the dominant player here in Hawaii? Or it's kind of like if the bill passed, pretty much they're kind of have to go through you guys and you guys can charge whatever you want?
So not quite. The program is free. We're a non-for-profit. So if you notice in the PowerPoint, we said early on that we had private funders who funded the program to begin with. And the program that's going to be funded on the government side is being funded through government channels to be able to provide a free service for the community. And that free service is also enabled to be a low cost and free service based on the fact that we have a large pool of volunteer mediators who work through a variety of our programs. So we do offer low cost mediation on a variety of different programs. And this is a free program that we provide for the community.
May I real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what he's trying to get at, and correct me if I'm wrong, Loy. Bottom line, when you folks get paid, you're getting paid by somebody. Is it coming out of taxpayer money?
So as of now, we're currently privately funded. So
I guess, may I ask
Sure.
what type of organization or who these donors might be? What's their interest in this one aspect of service?
So I think the interest in this one aspect of service is to provide a variety of creative solutions to be able to deal with the houselessness crisis and to have the ability for landlords and tenants to communicate freely and to empower them to find solutions that make sense rather than go through a long eviction process, which can often result more often than not in catastrophic issues of houselessness. So I think that is the interest in why private funders move forward with funding programs such as these.
Let me help, if I can, maybe explain.
Sure.
They're funded through private donations. Okay, I'll give you an example. Very recently, I was able to go and attend a function that they honored our Chief Justice, who just is retiring. It was packed at the convention center, and everybody had to pay, well, big bucks. But a lot of the organizations like First Hawaiian Bank, et cetera, were sponsoring it. So basically, that's how they get their money. And it is free. As a matter of fact, when I was the mediator helping them out, I didn't charge. But I do believe in mediation. It really, if you can mediate something rather than arbitrate or litigate, it's much better. So I'm glad to hear, at least and I'm a landlord, so I really understand that. Any other question? I don't want to.
Yeah, and I also just wanted to say that we do have pools of landlords who come to us time and time again when they face these issues, trying to resolve them early on. They want to work with tenants, and sometimes just because there's often like a shame or stigma attached to being unemployed or having financial issues, it's difficult to be able to get in touch with tenants to be able to resolve those. So us coming in as a neutral third party, we can talk to both parties individually. We can explain how we can bring them together, how they're finding a solution that makes sense for both of them. So a lot of that can be really helpful in resolving these issues.
You do domestic too, right? If I had something that I want my wife and I to resolve, I would go with you, right?
Yes. We do a variety of issues. The early eviction mediation program is not one of them, but we do handle a variety of domestic, we do condo issues, landlord tenant apart from this, and also neighbor issues as well. So any issues that you're really facing that could potentially go to court, we're trying to really ease those relationships and have people find solutions that make sense for them.
Great. More questions? Board? Audience? WebEx? Not Roberta. Thank you very much. I'm glad
Thank
you
you so
could
much,
make it.
everyone,
Yeah,
for your
thank you.
questions and for your interest.
All right, moving along. Sorry to keep all the elected officials waiting, but first off, we have our city rep, Ed.
Hello and good evening, Edward Los Banos, the mayor's rep for Neighborhood Board 14. First off, starting off with the mayor's newsletters and updates. Newsletter can be found at honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter. For the month of July and the July newsletter, city begins 80-acre master planning effort for the Iwile Kapalama subcorridor. So that the intent of that is to kind of create a transit-oriented destination, if you will, in that area is primarily industrial right now. So it's going to take a lot of work to get infrastructure and other things there to support building over there. Next up, Mayor signs a trio of bills into law designed to help increase public safety, especially along the leeward coast. So these bills, bills 11, 12, and 13, target illegal gambling rooms, illegal gambling devices, and helps landlords get HPD's cooperation so they can get in once they get notified of one of these illegal gambling rooms. Next, I have Mayor's Office of Culture and the Arts helps unveil 3 new art installations, or Vahipana. These 3 new installations were at Coco Crater, Kapiolani Park, and Hanamo Bay. And these are being funded by Bloomberg Foundation, so it wasn't taxpayer dollars on these. We did compete for this grant and lucky to get these, but these installations are pretty cool. They tell the story about the place that you're at, and they're selected for that. There's an art piece that you have to trigger that, and then you can take a look at the placard on the sign. I think there's a QR code on there too if you want to learn more about them. 2 more updates. Entrepreneurs on the Waianae Coast begin the Idea to Biz Incubator Program with the Office of Economic Revitalization. The program included 20 businesses that have to go to a 13-week program. They meet at least 1 time a week. They get homework and all those other things to help them build their business. Last update I have, long lines and wait times are no more. The city brings a licensed learner's permit test online. No appointments are needed. You do need a webcam to make sure you're cheating. You can't use your phone. You have to have a computer-enabled webcam, though. Moving on, I had 2 updates to follow up on in the agenda. First one is the crosswalk at Nu'uanu and Bates. So in order to get the crosswalk up and do it so safely in accordance with engineering standards, in advance of the longer-term rehabilitation of the roadway, the Department of Transportation Services proposes to reduce the number of through travel lanes on Nu'uanu Avenue from 4 to 3 lanes and install a quick-build pedestrian refuge island on the Mauka side of the intersection to accommodate this change. DTS will convert the left Mauka-bound travel lane into a dedicated left turn lane in advance of the Bates Street intersection. These plans are still being finalized, but notwithstanding any unforeseen expenses, the Complete Streets Office does anticipate adequate funds in its fiscal year 2026 budget 3rd quarter. So that's January of 2026. To hire a contractor, install the roadway signage, and get that striping done. So anticipate it being done by summer of 2026. Second one I have is the always stop at Kapalama Avenue on Hollow Drive. On this one, the design work has been completed, and they're working to get the notice of published on the intersection change and official letters to the neighborhood board and council members. Those will be done by the end of this month. They hope to get all the letters and stuff done. They'll also be issuing a work order to the Department of Facilities and Maintenance to get the work done, the actual signs posted. They're anticipating all the letters, the notice publication, the work order to be completed by the end of July 2025.
Good. Questions? Yes. Come on up, Liliha.
All I asked for was, on behalf of the community, some white paint to paint that crosswalk. You're asking to convert Nu'uanu Avenue. If any of you go down Nu'uanu Avenue during the morning when the kids are going to school, to convert 4 lanes into 3 lanes or 2 lanes, 1 lane going up, 1 lane going down, and 1 to turn, you're going to have an uproar because we have 3 schools there. You have Hawaii Baptist Academy, you have Kawananakoa Intermediate, and you have the charter school down by the old cathedral school. And I don't think it's going to work because initially when Complete Streets started, they proposed that years ago and it's never flown. So for now, while you guys in the planning stages are trying to design a federally funded, federally approved, highway approved New Uwano Avenue, can we just please have the paint put back on that crosswalk so that people don't have to go up to Judge Street or go down to New Uwano and Potwell to cross to catch the bus, or for the condo liver dwellers to go across the street to catch the bus, and for churchgoers to go back and forth. That's an important crosswalk. And there was talk of a blinking, that rapid fire flash and beacon thing, okay, the thingamajig. Put it up. And I don't know what the stall is. I mean, 26, this was taken away in the fall of 2018. That's how long we've not had it. We've written letters to the editor, we've written letters to the mayors, Kurt Caldwell, to Mufi, no, not Mufi, that was the other thing. Kurt Caldwell and to Mayor Blangiati, and I got these canned letters. We need some sense going on here. We have people that want to cross the street and they say, oh, you can cross over there. We're not going to tag you for jaywalking. That's not so. It's not so much jaywalking, but the mentality that we teach our children. You cross at the crosswalks. You cross at the traffic lights, not jaywalk. Enough said.
Okay. Ed, you're taking notes. All right. Thank you, Leanna. Anybody else? Yes.
And when is the completion date for the Hollow Drive, Kapalama Avenue?
They wrote in my report, it was end of July 2025, so they got 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I thought you said, because the thing is that I didn't see anything yet put up by the city and county to notify the public that we're gonna have a four-way stop sign over there. But I'm very encouraged. So.
I am too. I hope so too. Otherwise, I'm gonna get it next month.
5.5. Okay, I'll put that in my books. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, no, you got 2 more years. Wait. Do you want me to keep it? I'll keep that on the agenda, and I'll keep the crosswalk on Bates Street on the agenda to see what, the react. Take back what Leanna suggested and come back with that, and in regards to the suggestion. But anyway, and Loy, you have something?
Questions? I'll say that. First question, I guess, if I see graffiti on a traffic signal pole, do I report that to DFM or HPD?
Generally, you should, if you're seeing it, the crime in action, I would recommend HPD. If it's, something, some kind of past thing, then I hate to use the words, it depends, but it depends if it's a city, it's a city street and the stoplight belongs to the city, or if it's a state one. 311 app works the best if you take a picture, and then, because the picture helps geotag it and everything like that, so we know exactly where it is. And then we'll get crews out there to address that.
Okay, I'll do that. I think this one is on Malakila and Kuakini on the gym corner, Diamond Head, Makai.
Okay.
Second question. I know over there got kind of like the grassy area next to the gym, and also now that Keola extension road has been built out, there's that grassy area there. Would the city consider like donation of plants or trees to maybe like try to plant trees in that area? Oh, parking. I'm sorry. What's
It's Lanakila's parking area.
Malahia.
Malahia.
It's Parking was
Malahia.
supposed to be there. They just haven't done
Yeah.
anything yet.
Yeah.
So when they built that, all that area is parking for Malahia. Yes.
Yes. That was part of the deal when they made that extension. I know we lived through it. Yeah.
No, they own it.
Okay. Any other questions? Ed, maybe I want to ask you to stick around maybe for Natsunoya, okay? Just in case it may deal with the city. Okay. All right, moving right along. Let's see. Council Member DeSantos Tam, are you here? Hello? Councilmember Tam's office? Well, moving right along. I know our Senator Carl Rose. Thank you for waiting, Carl. I appreciate it.
Aloha kako. Let's see. First up, I just want to mention a bill that I introduced that passed, Senate Bill 405, which was recently signed into law by Governor Green as Act 72 and is now in effect. It allows neighborhood boards to discuss and receive information on matters raised by third-party reports from any government official not included. So if you have not included the specific issue on the agenda, you can still have a discussion with the government official. But if you want to make a decision on it, then you still have to wait until you've noticed it. But that is in effect. So just FYI, and that was my bill. On
Is this apply only to government officials, not anybody else in the?
Well, there's a different rule for the way it had been interpreted was that government officials, I could come to you like right now, I could talk to you, but you couldn't ask me any questions, which seemed ridiculous to me.
I remember that prohibition.
Part of me would be like, what a relief. I don't have to answer any questions, but it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having me come here. So, you can ask me all the mean questions you want.
Anyway, thank you for that. We
problem.
appreciate that.
No problem. On June 24 this year, the state of Hawaii launched the Hawaii Hurricane Relief Fund. That's not quite true. The Hawaii Hurricane Relief Fund has been around for a while, but it's been relaunched basically to help qualified condo associations meet their master policy insurance requirements. So under this program, qualified associations may purchase a layer of coverage up to $90 million. And I've attached to my report a memorandum from the state's acting insurance commissioner, which provides the details and information for applicant HOAs. As many of you are aware, if you live in a condo, this has become a huge issue. Condos can't get like anything close to reasonably priced insurance. So this is hopefully, it's not going to solve everybody's problems, but hopefully it will help stabilize the insurance market a little bit. I also introduced House Concurrent Resolution 128, which passed both houses of the legislature. The purpose of this SCR is simple enough. It requires the Attorney General to catalog all the leases federal entities currently have with the state. My concern is that if the federal government makes significant, well, this is sort of written before the big bill just passed, the federal government is making significant cuts for programs and projects in Hawaii. So I think we need to reconsider whether we can afford to lease large parcels of land to the federal government for nominal fees. Some of the leases that the military have are $1 for 60 years, things like that. I didn't really object to that, but if we're going to lose, right now the estimate is we're going to lose 47,000 people are going to go off MedQuest as not immediately, but in 26 or 27 as a result of this bill that just passed. And I'm not sure we can afford to be quite so generous if that's the kind of, this is like $300 million for the state. I think we're going to have to look at where we can legitimately charge the federal government for services that we provide them as well. I was going to mention 311, but Edward already mentioned it, but it does work. So if you have problems that are on city land, I don't know if they've thought of every single possible permutation, but they've thought of a whole bunch of them. So when you go on there, it generally works pretty well. I think I've drowned them with requests because mine haven't gotten fixed so as quickly as they used to, but definitely the first thing to do if you run across a problem that it's on city land. So I would just reemphasize it does work.
Good. Questions, board? Audience? WebEx? Senator, thank you very much. Nice seeing you again.
Have a good evening.
Good evening. Next, Senator Kim. There she is.
Evening.
Hi.
Aloha, Chair Fong and members of the Neighborhood Board. My community report has been sent out to you digitally, and community members in attendance, you can also have this emailed to you if you will send us your email, and we will be sure to get you a copy. Also, I want to mention that my community bulletin was mailed out a couple weeks ago, and this is mailed out to all registered voters in Senate District 14. And if you didn't get one or would like to get one, you can also email my office and we will send it out to you. In the newsletter is the results of the survey that we did. In the last newsletter that I sent out in January, and so the results is there. You can see how your community responded to that survey. Also, an article that I put in on NIL, which is name, image, and likeness. And this is about the impact that this will have on the University of Hawaii and our sports program. I think it's an interesting article. This is something that is happening now, and it's I think many people are not aware of the impact that it will have. And also budget highlights. So like Senator Rhodes, I also introduced Senate Bill 1252, and this was signed into law for Act 283, and this appropriates $525,000 in each of the fiscal years 2026 and 2027. And this is to fund Alzheimer's and dementia-related education and training at UH Manoa, John Burns School of Medicine. This initiative will strengthen Hawaii's healthcare workforce and enhance support for our growing kupuna population. I know that many physicians and healthcare providers are hesitant to talk about Alzheimer's and so forth. And so we thought the best way is to train our medical students coming up to be able to address this as they go forward. Also, the state budget was signed into Act 250. And so I wanted to just highlight some of this. The executive biennium budget providing $19.8 billion in FY 2026 and $19.7 billion in FY 2027. Some of the highlights include $16 million for DOE deferred maintenance, $41.9 million for summer learning programs, $30 million for DOE electricity costs, $30 million for healthcare education loan repayment, $37 million for Kauhale housing projects, $7.5 million for Housing First and rapid rehousing programs, $6 million for Child Protective Service workforce support, $14.8 million for fire protection programs, $15 million for wildfire mitigation for state highways. And these investments are aimed at improving our services, critical services that our community needs. I know there's a lot of concern about education, and as you can see, we did put a lot of money there. Just note that our education budget takes up 1/3, literally 1/3 of the entire budget. So we do invest a lot in our schools. Also want to mention an upcoming e-waste recycling event at Palolo Chinese Home on Saturday, July 26th from 8 a.m. to noon, and they will accept items like TVs, laptops, computers, cell phones, lithium batteries, cooking appliances, hazardous materials, but will not, and hazardous materials though will not be accepted. All proceeds will be used to support the Palolo Chinese Home. And so with that, I am open to any questions.
No, thank you very much, Senator. Also, I'm glad that you're doing something about Alzheimer's. My wife would be very happy to hear that. So,
you know, more and more people are being inflicted by dementia and Alzheimer's. And so, yeah, it is the #1 growing concerns that we have for our aging population.
So second question I have, how do you get involved with Palolo Chinese Home? You know, that was a past president many years ago and it got that developed. Is that your jurisdiction?
No, but I have a constituent and Battery Built, he goes out to a lot of these different areas doing these e-waste programs to help people. And so this is the next one they're going to be holding at Palolo Chinese Home. And so I know people have a lot of computers and old phones they want to get rid of, don't know how to do it. And so they, you know, the Chinese home is not that far. So.
Well, thank you for your support of the home. By the way, guys, you don't have to be Chinese to be in the home, okay? As a matter of fact, we only have 1/3 Chinese residents. Yeah,
and
questions?
it's a nice place too.
Oh yeah, well, nice place to visit. That's
yes. If you had to stay there, it's also nice.
Questions from the board? Questions from the audience? Yes, Liana.
guess I saw Senator Rhodes and Senator Mercado here. A while back, we had a child support situation where the father got a license from the state to be a realtor. And I think there was a rule that you couldn't be in arrears for child support. And I have background in HR. So when someone has a court order saying that they're supposed to pay child support, they have to try to pay that child support. And what we found was that our licensing people don't know that the child protective services or the child support folks are not talking to them and say, hey, so-and-so is not paying their bill. Okay, that was a while back. And as a result of me bringing it up years ago here, that child all of a sudden got $40,000 because daddy was making good money and bragging about it, but not paying child support. So the question I have now, many years later, maybe 4 or 5 years later, is that do we have that linkage on a computer? Is our state licensing people aware of people that are in arrears in child support? Because with funding going away, more and more funding going away, these single parents are having a hard time, be they male or female. And I think we need that linkage. Now, someone made the comment that, hey, they got to earn the money. Well, if they earn the money, they got to pay the money too. And it doesn't have to be the full amount. They can work out a deal where they can pay part of it. But we're not going to license people if they're in arrears. Got it?
Yes, I think I recall having some kind of measure that got passed, but I can't be certain. Senator Rhodes, as a judiciary chair, might be more up on this, but I do know that the courts
He's
do
giggling over
inform-
here.
garnish the paycheck and so
Right.
forth. I think,
Right.
Carl, I'm not sure if you are more up on that, but I recall vaguely.
I don't remember anything on that passing this year, but I'm happy to check it out. I'll
I
talk
think it
to
was
Leanna.
past years,
You don't think it was this year? You think it was an earlier year?
many years, yeah, a few
Okay,
years. It might have been
I'll
work
check-
with the city when they renew their license and so forth.
Right.
Something-
I will find out from Leanna what the specific problem is. We'll try to figure out whether it's already in statute or whether we need to change it.
Okay,
I
thanks,
won't
Carl.
put, I will not put on the agenda, but Carl, is for next meeting, just give us a update. Appreciate it. Okay, anybody else? Board? Audience? Okay. Representative, hello? Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Senator Kim. Appreciate it. Let's see, Representative Takanuchi. Jenna, you still there?
I'm here. Thanks, Chair. And congratulations on another term as chair.
Thank you.
But just two quick things. We got a notification from the Department of Transportation that they are accepting comments for their climate resilience plan public comments period for their plan on the energy security and waste reduction plan. I will put the dates into the plan. There's some public meetings coming up, but basically, so this plan is to do a roadmap for the DOT to work on getting to net zero waste. And we really hope that everybody is going to participate in this. So I'll put the dates for the public meetings in the chat. And there's also just, a link if you just want to put comments. Please participate in that. And I would like to share that I'm just doing a bunch of kind of like informal park talks across the district. I just did one at Liliha Library, where some people came out. Board member Kuo was there. Thank you for showing up. The next one I'm doing is going to be at Lanakila District Park in a couple of weeks on July 23rd in the meeting room at Lanakila District Park. We'll be there from 4:30 to 6 p.m. This is just open office hours. If anyone would like to come just talk story with me, with your neighbors, with whoever, please show up. And I'm doing a couple other park talks also through the next couple months. I'll put the link where I'm posting them all, are all the park talks and like little meetings I'm having. If anyone would like to just come hang out and talk about whatever's on your mind, community things or legislation or anything that you want to talk about, I'll put that in the chat. There's a bunch. I'm doing one at Booth Park. I think we're gonna do one at a couple of my office for anyone who just wants to come downtown. We're gonna also do one at sorry, the last one is because it's kind of far out. It's kind of near the end of the year, but we're gonna do a bunch of these little meetings throughout the year. So anyone can like show up, and I'll share the link where we're gonna post all of the meeting events. And also happy to take any questions or anything back to the office.
Questions from the board? Yes, Loy.
Just comment. Thank you, Representative Jenna, for the opportunity to attend your town hall meeting at Liliha Library. I really appreciate that your office taking the time to let us meet with you and discuss our concern in a smaller setting. So thank you very much. I look forward to possibly attend another future one.
Oh, thank you for that
Yeah.
feedback.
Thank you, Loy. Anybody else on the board? How about the audience? WebEx? If not, Representative Tanucci, thank you very much. Okay,
Okay, thanks. See
Thank you.
everybody next month.
yep. Moving right along, do we have anybody from Daniel Holt's office? How about Ikaika Hussey? How about a governor's representative?
Aloha, Chair. How's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Hey, how's it?
I'm doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to go over a few brief points of June's
Yeah, go ahead.
newsletter. You can drop it in the chat as well. Okay, so I'll start by sharing that the Hawaii Green Business Program honored 45 organizations across the islands for their efforts in energy and water efficiency, waste reduction, pollution prevention, and resource preservation, which highlighted a strong commitment to ecological and cultural sustainability. And in 1 year, the awardees in initiative saved millions of gallons of waters and thousands of kWh electricity, which is going to significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions and supporting Hawaii's transition to renewable energy. The second point I want to bring up is the 2025 Sun Bucks program. This provides eligible families with $177 in food benefits per child to support nutrition during the summer, with over 79,000 children receiving more than 13.9 million so far. And this is funded by the state and USDA, and the program automatically enrolls children with free or reduced price school meals or SNAP benefits, and the application is still ongoing and the deadline is August 3rd. The third point I want to bring up is a recent event. This is with Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke, but still a big impact. It is Hawaiian Telecom installing fiber optic internet at 81 HPHA properties across Hawaii. This is going to provide over 5,500 units with discounted internet options and free 1 gigabit Wi-Fi service at all community hubs, which are going to provide free internet spaces. And this was entirely funded by Hawaiian Telecom with no taxpayer costs. And this project is aiming to modernize public housing communities, improve access to telehealth, online education, employment, and just have Hawaii move towards becoming the first fully fiber-enabled state by 2026. So this work is ongoing right now, should be done as of right now in mid-September. So I'll keep you all posted. And this is just really going to emphasize community connectivity and digital equity in general. The last point I want to bring up is the School Street Affordable Housing that's on School Street next to the HPHA office is still ongoing. I'm not sure if you have passed by already, but it's amazing to see the progress that's been done. Work first started in January of last year, and right now they're going to start on the 8th floor. So as of right now, that's going to be completed by September of next year. So I'm really excited to see it happen, and I appreciate all the support from the legislators with this ongoing project. And more details can be found at hpha.gov. And that's all I have for today's report. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Audience? WebEx? Well, thank you very much. Nice seeing you again. All right.
Mahalo,
Okay,
Chair.
moving right. Thank you. We're moving right along. Anybody from Representative Ed Case's office? Nope. All right, next thing on the agenda, approve of the minutes of June 9th, 2025. Any corrections? Okay,
Chair, I move that we approve minutes.
moved by Carol, seconded by Darren. All those in favor of approving the minutes of June 9th, 2025, and note that I cannot vote because I was not present. So all those in favor who were present, raise your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Anybody opposed? If not, motion, I'm assuming that everybody who didn't vote was neither the elected or wasn't here. The motion's carried. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, unfinished business. And I want to thank our guest over there who has been waiting patiently to answer any questions from Natsunoya Tea House. What I'm going to do is, for those of you who don't remember, there was some concern about Natsunoya Tea House getting its liquor license and also having entertainment. And my understanding is that there was a hearing and there was attendance. And one of our members did attend, and thank you. And she's going to give you a brief briefing of the hearing, and then maybe introduce our guests. Over there, have any questions? Go ahead, Cora.
Okay, this time it's close. First of all, I actually got an official notice of the public hearing because I do live within 500 feet from the nearest point of the premises. So I did get the official notice. And I also want to acknowledge that Jenna sent out letters to neighbors who were a little further away from the 500 feet because of the general concern that had been expressed by, various residents in the area, especially about the parking. I did attend the public hearing, which was on Thursday, June 26th at 4 p.m. Liquor Commission. There were 2 people who testified. First person was Willa Donnelly, who was, I believe, here at the last meeting. I don't know. She lives on the corner of Kamali'i and Makanani, which is the corner right across from Natsunoya, right also across from the cemetery, right above the curve. And she was in opposition. And then I spoke after her. I testified after her. Basically in support of the license, approval of the license, but with concern that there are a lot of parking concerns and, generalized resident concerns. And there was actually a lot of discussion among the commissioners. I think between the testimony and the testimony and the discussion, that probably lasted about 20 minutes or so, which I don't know, it seemed to be longer than a lot of the other proceedings that were going on. So, the bottom line is, after a lot of the discussion, the license was approved contingent on Natsunoya reporting back to the Liquor Commission in 6 months with a report on how it's going. And I believe this is a public hearing also, right, in the same format. And then 6 months after that. And it was the vice chair who was chairing. He suggested that Natsunoya put together a log of community concerns, resident concerns, specifically what they are, when, what it is, how it was resolved, because there seemed to be, not that much specificity about what had happened in the past. Even the more recent concerns of Ms. Donnelly, she couldn't remember exactly when when she had complained and all of that. So this at least will have a log. Everyone will be able, it's very transparent, and see what happened and what needs to be followed up with. And there are lots of specific issues that I could go into, but we won't get into that. And so leave it at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, thank you very much for attending and testimony. It kind of struck home since I was on the the Liquor Commission for a long time. And congratulations, Natsunoya, getting its license. But at the same time, you're still on probation. That's why they gave you the 6 months and 6 months. So would you like to introduce yourself and any comments that you may have? Because you do represent Natsunoya, and probably can tell us how.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, Neighborhood Board and esteemed members of the community. My name is Micah Fujiwara. I'm the will be fourth generation owner operator of Natsunoya Tea House. I wanted to extend my gratitude for allowing me to speak here. I'm here to answer any questions in regarding to the licensure of by the Liquor Commission, and also listen to and try to navigate any further issues regarding parking.
Can you tell us, okay, of course, a lot of us are familiar with that. That is, for those who don't know, I think this is the only remaining tea house in all of Hawaii. Is that right? I think so. Anyway, it was not more, I think, the question about or concern about, the liquor license and entertainment, because it's not very loud, but it's the parking. Can you tell us what it is that the problem was and what Natsunoya is doing? And then that's the reason I asked Ed to be here, because that's city property around there. And somebody mentioned something about an easement around it. I couldn't quite understand. Maybe you can explain to us.
Yeah, so Natsunoya, as you guys know, we do have limited parking, and during our busy season, we can sometimes accommodate up to 300 guests. So parking has been an issue for a number of years. We do have valet on premise who will try to make use of the parking lot to its fullest extent. And we do encourage all of our guests to either carpool, ride share, utilize public transportation and or taxi. The parking is on a first come, first served basis. And we do notify guests if they are parked illegally or if there are any safety concerns regarding their parking. Does that satisfy all of your questions? Sorry, I know you had quite a long list.
Somebody mentioned something, there's an easement around your area and that they're parking on the easement. I didn't quite understand that. Do you know anything about that?
So I believe the parking lot, because it's paved asphalt all the way to the end of the street, or it's when it meets the street, there is an easement that lines the property that is supposed to be for the unimproved walkway. So there's supposed to be enough room for, I think it's 1.5 feet, correct me if I'm wrong, between the property line where we can park cars and the end of the street for residents to have, or any pedestrians to have safe passage along the premises of Natsunoya.
And you're abiding by that easement.
We're doing our best, and we're in constant reminder of our valet to respect that easement as well.
Okay, let me open it up to questions from the board and then the audience. Go ahead.
This is not from the hearing, but in conversation afterwards. I understand that Natsunoya has been investigating, reaching out to possible sources of alternate parking. Could you, to the extent that you can, describe that?
Yeah, so we have explored a few options in terms of utilization of parking lots that are in and around the area and the neighborhood. I know there have been reach out to churches, the Asset School, and we have not had response or not a great one. So we'll continue our outreach to try to find some additional solutions in terms of parking. I know this is not an uncommon issue, but we do, hear the concerns of the community and do want to, be a, I guess, forefront for, safety in that area as well.
Other questions? Yeah, go ahead, Donald.
On the easement, I noticed it folks went from your property all the way to the street. Did you folks have a special permit? Because that portion is public. And you cannot put anything on public property, right? Well, I was looking at the representative of the city and county, because the thing is that if in our area, if we wanted to do anything with the easement, and mine is crosswalk, concrete crosswalk, sidewalk, and we cannot do anything on that easement because that is public property, and we have no right as, resident, because that's not our property. Now, I noticed you folks had. So the question, and then this is the complaint that you folks are parking on the easement because the pavement is on. Okay, the question is, if you folks didn't have a permit and you folks did that, to me, you folks violated the city and county laws. And then technically, if you folks paved from your property and not the city and county property, or the question is, I don't think we will have a problem. Because right now, it's all the way to the road, and you have an easement. And I don't think your easement is, what you said, 2 feet, 2.5 feet? I think it's more like 4 to 5 feet. Because the easement is not a small easement.
Yeah,
So
thank you for the question, Donald. So we've worked with the Honolulu Police Department as well to kind of confirm where we can park the cars and how far along the street we can, park safely. So we've been working with them, and there has not been an issue raised just of yet. As far as your question in terms of the permitting and the pavement all the way to the road, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that question for you. I know ever since, I was, at least as long as I can remember, the asphalt has reached the road, even previously before when before we repaved. So I can look into that matter, but I don't have an answer for you now.
Yeah, because this is not the first time you folks have this problem. I know about 5 years ago, you folks had the same problem. And your folks' answer was, we have a private contractor to park. It's not under Natsunoya. You folks hired company to park the cars. True?
Yes.
So why don't you come back to us in regards to seeing if there is still an issue in regards to the easement and the violation. I can keep that on the agenda if anybody wants. Do you want to keep it on the agenda? Actually, I'm going to do this. Unless there's a concern by the residents, then I'll just take it off. Then maybe you can report back to us on the resident concerns. How's that? Then you don't have to wait until the end of the agenda. How's that? Is that okay? Anybody object to that? Do we get a progress bar? Thanks. Loy, yes.
Thank you for being here today and representing the Tea House. A lot of great memories. You guys certainly an institution and part of this neighborhood. So thank you very much. But may I ask, I guess maybe what's the, I mean, you guys been operating all these years. Why now that you're requesting for this liquor license? Is that gonna expect to change the business hours? I know you guys, the party policy is always like 9 o'clock, everybody gonna clear out. But now that you have the liquor license, does that mean that you guys gonna allow people to stay at the establishment later? I guess I have reservation in the sense that I live a little bit down the street, and I just, you know, if something happens, like people are drinking more, I don't want drunk driver to be like, you know, stumbling down the road because it's all windy and stuff. And so that's my concern. So would appreciate it if you can shed light on that.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Lloyd. As far as previous liquor licensures, we actually did have one, I believe, back in the 70s. And it did go over and lapse over time. The rationale behind going after the liquor license currently, one, we are, you know, a small business and we're, you know, trying to survive in the current economy. And two, we have been running as a BYOB for quite a long time. And partly what the liquor license allows us to do is to charge a corkage fee of any alcohol that's brought onto the premise. And we're seeing this as a way to sort of be able to prevent overconsumption of alcohol. And so as far as the business hours are concerned, I know during due to COVID, we reduced our business hours for our dinners from 5 to 9. That will be in place. We have no plan to extend our business hours beyond that. And yeah, I appreciate the support over the years.
I have one personal question. What's your corkage fee?
So we're currently trying to figure out what our corkage fee is going to be. We're working with our staff. And I know, so I can't make any personal promises just yet.
That's okay. I think we could read through the lines, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions? Yes, Darren.
So back in June, the specific residents had identified certain things that they would only know if they were aware of it. And one of it was that there was cones blocking the city and county roads and that they were charging parking for $8 on city streets. I don't know if that was covered in the testimony, but that's very specific information. So that means that must be true.
I'm not, so as far as the usage of cones, I know we cone the edge of our parking lot as, you know, just to mark that edge. As far as cones on city streets, I'll have to get back to you. I'm not aware of any usage of cones on city streets. And in terms of having people pay for parking on city streets as well, I'm not sure. I have no concrete examples of that happening. Although we do have try to commit our parking valet company to utilize only our parking lot, and any parking outside of that is by patronage parking on their own.
I have a comment. As someone who lives very close to, you know, and drives a lot around that area, I have never seen cones in the street. I do see cones on what would be sidewalks if there were sidewalks next to properties nearby so that people won't park there, you know, on their property. That is prevalent.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Audience? WebEx? I want to thank you very much and get back to us in regards to the easement. What? Yes.
Chair, sorry, it's Jenna.
Hello? Yes, Jenna.
Hi.
Is that Jenna?
Sorry, two very quick things. I know
Yeah.
the meeting's running long. I just wanted to ask if there was, because I've also gotten some concerns about operations after the changes made to the license. I was wondering if Natsuno could just provide like contact information, like email or phone or anything that people could just send concerns to. I think that would really help if I could just get that information to pass on to people who contact my office about it.
Yeah, so I know our business phone is 808-595-4488, and we also have email listed on our website as well. I'm personally answering the phones throughout the week and so if you do give a call, you might hear me answer. Happy to take any questions or concerns. I also am running a log of any concerns that do come through. So far, we do have 3, and I can list them out in detail if interested as well.
Sorry, could I just get the email right now so I can just like send it out to anyone who contacts my office?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I don't have the email off the top of my head, but I know it's listed on our website. I can list it out shortly. But the phone number was 80. Oh, you got the phone number? Sorry.
What was the number, telephone number again?
The telephone number is 595-4488. And so our email that you guys can reach us at is info@natsunoya.com.
Okay.
Alternative, I can provide an email as well for any additional questions or concerns.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's
Actually,
just call.
And
Yeah.
also just really quickly, I know actually for the question, I know it was being discussed. Sorry, I didn't want to jump in, but there is actually a conditional permit that lets them go all the way to the roadway. I got a call from my office asking about that, and there's an actual permit with the city that allows Natsunoya to park the cars all the way to the roadway. And that's something that's been on the books for a while. So that's legal and good. And thank you for being good neighbors when you guys
Wait, General,
appreciate-
you just said that Natsuno has a conditional use permit that allows them to park up to,
Yeah.
including the
So the
easement?
question where everyone was talking about parking up onto the roadway, I got a call into my office about that, and we looked into it, and that's a permit that they have with the city that they're allowed to do that. That's why the cars are allowed to park so close to the edge of the property. So
Okay, so actually that issue is probably moot since you got a conditional use permit. Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions from the board? Audience? Okay. Thank you very much. I'm sure that if there are any concerns, we will hear them. Thank you.
Yes, thanks so much.
And you will get it back to us about the corkage fee. No, I'm just joking. Never mind. Thank you. Okay, good luck to you. And remember, you're the only game in town that's left. You know that.
Yeah, trying to keep the family tradition alive.
Very good. I'm glad. We're glad. Okay. With that, let's move on. We have some community organizations. Malahia, anybody? No. St. Francis? No. Lanakila.
All right. So the big notification is that we have another show and sell coming up. That's August 7th. That's Thursday between 8 and 10:30. So please come eat, come by, come. This is what many of the clubs use to fund their activities is, for instance, the sewing club, they sew stuff, they sell it, then that allows them to sew more stuff. So, and some of the clubs make food, they sell the food, and then that allows them to do activities. So please do come, August 7th. And
What clubs are going to be providing food?
almost all the clubs do.
Oh,
Usually, often the Chlorine Club has food. The Portuguese Club often does Portuguese bouillon soup. So at this moment, I can't tell you exactly. I guess I can.
no, oh, you got it? Oh,
I can tell you who's providing food this time.
I was just looking for Portuguese bean soup.
Usually there is Portuguese bean soup. That's pretty standard.
Oh.
It's not always. If you come late, there isn't. So
What is late? I don't get up that early. What?
8 a.m. be there.
Okay, thank you.
And then, let me see. I just wanted to highlight some of the things that the opportunities that folks have that are members. So for instance, one of the classes coming up this month on the 26th is Spot a Scam Cybersecurity. So I think that's something that's really important for not just the seniors, because the scam stuff is getting really sophisticated. And so it's really helpful that they're having classes like that on a regular basis. And they are also are doing all these really cool trips, and like Pukai's little jaunts into different places, like they're going to Haleiwa town. Like, I'd love to go get some shave ice, not some. Right. And so if you are 60 or older and you live between, I think the actual border is Ward and Pearl City, please come and join. But they have become a model for all senior centers, and a lot of DHS is looking to them to figure out how they can replicate the program, because especially with COVID and doing the online and in person and working through all of that, they serve over 2,000 seniors. So
Good job.
let me see if I have who's doing the movies. The food this time. Sorry. It's all good. How's that? Okay, Thursday. Here we go. Food. We got andagi, bulgogi Cobb salad, guava chicken, pickled onions, roast pork bento. So it's Okinawan and Korean this time.
No Portuguese soup?
It's not listed, but often they have it anyway.
That's okay. That sounds good. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you. Moving along, Friends of the Library? Guess not. Other nonprofit organizations? Okay, announcements. I have one. Everyone should have gotten a goodie bag from the NCO, all right? Ron, you want to lift your goodie bag up? The goodie bag, the bag in front of you. There it is. Okay. All of you should also have gotten that's an old one. Get a new one. All of you should also have gotten a NCO shirt, just like the one Ron's wearing. Everybody? That's the old one? Did you get now? You got a new one? Oh, it's a t-shirt.
Yeah, I still have to give Ronald his bag.
All right, look. Oh, that's the new one. Okay. I'll tell you what, look, I don't know. Everybody got one of those?
I'm still collecting everyone's.
Okay,
information.
what I'd like to do is next meeting, okay? Everybody should have at least the new one, not the old one. And will you please wear it at our next meeting? Come to our meeting. We'd like to take a group picture, and hopefully all of us look the same. Okay, Ron, your grandfather then. Well, you have one of those t-shirts. You have this t-shirt, don't you? Okay, go get one. All right, so Camelia, make sure they all. And what you can do is if you bring them for, at the beginning of next meeting, and if you can get changed and unchanged or whatever it is, okay? Do you mind? Because this is the only time I can get everybody together. Everybody that's disappearing. Okay, any other announcements? Our next meeting is going to be August the 11th, Monday. After I adjourn the meeting, I have one question for everybody, so please stick it around. I don't need to put it on the record. So is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved by Darren, seconded by Carol to adjourn. Oh, is it Carol? Okay. All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion is adjourned. Okay, close the record. I have one question before we leave. Oh, it's now 8:55. There was a suggestion